Today was another day where lots of things happened. I had 17 events on my calendar. Crazy, 4 of them were 2 hours long, but really I want to talk about the homeschooling world because yesterday I mentioned that Senate Bill 6261 was up for a hearing today, which would require homeschoolers to declare, to file with the school a direct declaration of intent by the age of 6 and 7, in addition to state law, which starts at age 8. And there's a lot of concern over what that was about. So this morning I had a meeting with Superintendent of Public Instruction, Chris Reykdal, because it was his request legislation. I wanted to know, why are you doing this? What is your point? What are you trying to get at? And it's always hard to tell with Chris because he is very political, but he told me he doesn't really care. He said we're the only state that doesn't require declaration of intent at age 6, which I'm not sure if that's true, but regardless, he's like, I don't really care about this. If it doesn't go anywhere, it's not a big deal. Or if we just said at age 6, tell me where you're going. He said he's being accused of not knowing where the 6 and 7-year-olds are. He told me he's not really worried about it because he said the homeschoolers are doing a good job. And if they're not in public school at age 6, he just assumes they're being homeschooled or private schooled. But again, it's always hard to tell with him because he's very political. But then I went over and I spoke to the homeschool rally. I believe I'm the only state legislator in Washington who was homeschooled myself, K through 12, and homeschooled my own children. And I spoke to them about it, said I was very encouraged to see all of them out here on the courthouse steps on the Capitol campus today, because Washington is actually one of the best states for homeschooling, and we want to keep it that way. That could change very rapidly if we aren't careful. And so we need to make sure we're advocating, sharing our voices, the importance of the liberties we have. And you know what? There was really great news. So the hearing was there in the Senate today, homeschool rally. I don't know how many, maybe 100 people or so were on the steps in the rain. And after the hearing, word is Senator Braun talked to the senator who was sponsoring the legislation, and she agreed to let it die. So it looks like for now we have a victory, that bill is not going anywhere. But it was a good test to show that Washington State homeschoolers can still mobilize and fight against things they're concerned about. I told them at the rally, this might not be the biggest issue that we're going to face, but it's helpful to know that you can get together and make your voice heard. And that's what they did today, and it was effective. So that's fantastic. And with that, I'll let you have a good night. Talk to you again tomorrow.